Hey, Stephen Whitesides here with Greenbrier Music with the how-to series. We're looking at porting a bass drum head. You'll see for most of our videos we need a hole in the bass drum head in order to slide a bass drum mic into. The reason for that is you want to mic the head that you're kicking on, but if you put the mic over on that side of the bass drum, you're going to pick up the snare and the floor tom and you're going to get a lot of bleeding. So if you want a concise bass drum track, the holes cutter is a couple of bucks at Greenbrier Music. It's not much different than a glass cutter. It's just redesigned. So you take this point, you drop it in whatever hole you want. Inside of each hole, if you shine a flashlight in there or hold it under a bright light, it's going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 inches. That's the diameter of the hole you're going to cut. This point goes in the center of the hole, and this right here is the blade that you're going to use to actually do the cutting. So the first thing you want to do is determine where you want your hole and where the center of the hole is going to be. Personally, I like the hole to be right about here when I have a 12 o'clock logo. That's what they call that. If you have a big center logo or you put your own band name, you know, like this is the Stephen Whitesides Jazz Quartet or whatever, and it's dropped in the center, you might want to go farther down here out of the way with your porthole. If you are going for like the Who or Led Zeppelin 70s, 80s thing, some people really love a big 10-inch hole right in the center. And what that'll do is take out the sound of the resonant head altogether. Once you cut out that much of the head, like a big 10-inch center hole, you might as well just have one bass drum head on. You're only cosmetically throwing the other head on there and protecting the bearing edge on your drum. So for this beautiful Gretsch USA Custom, I want to keep as much resonant head intact as possible. I'm going with a 4-inch hole because the diameter of the mic I'm sliding in is 2 inches. We need a little clearance so it doesn't bump on stuff. So I'm going to find where I want the whole center to be, probably right about here. I'm going to mark that by setting the holes cutter on the head, and I'm taking this spike and I'm using it to puncture the head just a little bit where I want my center to be. When I flip the head over, I'm going to be able to feel that little spike. I'm going to line up the hole, and I'm just going to double check, look at the other side. I can actually see the silhouette of the holes cutter. I'm imagining, am I going to be happy with the hole right there? Yeah, looks good to me. Worst case, if you ever screw this up, it's like 40 to 50 bucks to get a new logo head from just about any brand. They all sell a logo head separately. Make sure you cut on a surface you can cut through. This is going to leave a little bit of a mark on my clear rolly chair mat, but I don't really care. It's my home studio. I do whatever I want. If this was the wood floor at Tyler Street, I'd get mad at myself because this would be scratching it all up as it slices through the head. Now, you want to hold your thumb here to keep the spike in place, because if it moves, you're not going to get a perfect circle. It's not likely to move. It's not like it's jumping all over, but you got to be careful. Use your other thumb to push down on the blade so that it cuts through. It does require some force, so you're going to want to put your weight into it, especially if you're little like me. I don't weigh that much. Now you want to keep going all the way around. You might think, alright, I've cut all the way around, I'm done. Probably not. There's probably still little tags, little places where you didn't quite cut through. So you want to keep cutting until you're 100% sure that it's going to have a nice little circle fall out of here when you pick up. Alright, I'm pretty sure I got it. If I didn't, I can always line the spike up and just kind of feel around until the spike sinks back into the hole that I started with. It could be difficult. There we go. But now I got it to bite again, so I could go around and do additional cutting if I needed to. And it looks like I do. Right here it's not cut all the way through. Never take the circle and just rip. It'll probably tear right into your bass drum head. I've made that mistake numerous times. There we go. Now I can hear that slicing through. That's how you should do it. You just pick it up and the circle stays on the ground. If you do it that way, you did it right. You've got a nice, beautiful, perfectly ported head. If you'd like, you could buy something like the Aquarian sticker-based hole supporters. It's basically a sticker that's like a donut. Sticks on the outside right here. Reinforces your head, so as you slide a mic in and out over 20 different gigs, you're not going to grab the head and peel it outward or push it in, which will eventually tear your head and ruin it. You could also get a kick port. Just make sure if you get a 6-inch kick port, you cut a 6-inch head. Once you cut a 4-inch head, cutting this out to 6 inches is going to be a nightmare and you're not going to get a perfect circle. So measure twice, cut once.